Hey there, McAllister with Toasty DIY, and today I want to convince you to play a mobile game on either your phone or your iPad. And that game is not Raid Shadow Legends. This is not sponsored. It is a game called Sorcery. Sorcery is a book, kind of choose your own adventure game that spans across 4 different things from Sorcery 1, where you're kind of going into the wilds. It's a very classic D&D adventure. The Sorcery 2, where you find yourself in a very like Waterdeep or Baldur's Gate-esque city, trying to navigate it, and a lot of secret societies hidden within the city as you try to escape through the other gate that is locked by the original founder through a passphrase. Number 3, you're going to travel through an area with the very weird time issue. There are 7 serpents there also that wish to kill you, each equally strong and equally deadly. If you don't come with the right skills, you will die. Then the last is the city where the crown of kings, your ultimate goal, lies, and you'll have to travel through the outlands, the wilds, to reach the city, and that once you reach the city, for the first time ever, you're not allowed to rewind your choices. In my opinion, one of the most fun games I've ever played. I remember this game all the time, especially when I see maps done by Mike Schley. He's a classic D&D artist. You'll see a lot of his maps in a lot of the different modules. I'll show some of his maps on screen that he's done. You may recognize it from another game you've played. And the game features a lot of reading, followed by moving on the map to the different location, where then it will read out to you what's happening. But Mike Schley's artwork and line work, I think, is awesome. I love looking at the map. I love the aesthetic of the game. When it shows you the art pieces, I don't know who does the actual art inside of the game, but it's very like classic AD&D stuff. Very cool. So why do I think you should play it? Well, for me, it was in high school. They let us have iPads, and I could download this game on it, and people often didn't know that I wasn't, that I was playing the games. It looked like I was reading. It's awesome. There's some cool mechanics. If you've ever done a choose your own adventure book, it's kind of like once you've gone through it once, it's not really too fun again, in my opinion. You might go track down the couple other options you can go, but this was kind of my first experience with like that telltale style of storytelling, like The Walking Dead, where you bring your save file across the games to help illustrate my point. You will encounter, if you travel a certain path in the first game, an assassin. This assassin can be left alive. I can't remember exactly why he's trying to kill you or what his ultimate goal is, but you can spare him. And throughout the next 4 games, you can keep him in your debt. It's very difficult because he will show up to kind of Deus Ex Machina you if you have helped him. And then he'll go, my debt is paid, you'll never see me again. And it's true. You will never see this character again. And it was my goal through all of high school to find every situation he shows up in and make sure he stays in my debt so that I can see him in the last chapter. Because at that time, the last chapter wasn't out, but I wanted to make sure that he was there. And it was really difficult. And it was hard to find him. It was hard to make sure that he didn't like lose my debt. Stepping into fairy circles, he'd stop me. It's a really cool, like, storyline to follow, and there's multiple of them through the games, and they will follow you through all of them. There's stuff in Act 1 that you can pick up that you can deliver in Act 3, and it's super fun to see this. It's, I think, the closest I had to kind of a D&D experience as a kid because I didn't have friends to play with at the time. If you're somebody who loves the idea of D&D, if you're somebody who really likes to read, choose your own adventure books are kind of your style, and you like fantasy, I have no higher recommendation than the Sorcery series other than Baldur's Gate. It is a super awesome game to play. The art is fantastic. The different books all take place in totally different settings. A lot of them include a little bit of like a wilds land, like your classic adventure zone, but they're cities. Like the book number 2 is probably my favorite. You have an entire city called Kare that is just phenomenally well built. There's secret societies. There's a homeless man who's actually, this deadly creature. He'll kill you if you if you make a deal with them. There's a gambling hall to earn some money in. There's a ziggurat in which you can maybe meet a deity. What is it? Is it mechanical? Is it real? Is it magical? Who knows? And then one of the more interesting mechanics in this game is the spell book. You have the ability at almost any interaction to pull out your spell book and cast a spell. It costs you health or your stamina in order to do that, but it allows for these really interesting moments where you're out in a crowd in the middle of Kare. People are running about. There's a market, and you need to try to distract everyone. So you cast the clone spell, and suddenly there's 8 of you running around as you're trying to swindle a kid from the package you just won from a swindler who swindled you. It's very wild, very fun, and I don't want to spoil anything more, but I will tell you that every single book past the first one has a unique mechanic. The first one, kind of sets you in the zone and gives you the lay of the land and what this world is like. And after that, they continue to up the ante. I think the incremental design in this game is super fun. Every single one had a more interesting mechanic than the last. As much as I loved 2, 3's mechanic is probably the coolest, and 4's was scary. So if you are interested in reading, I recommend it. Check it out. Let me know what you think down below. If you played this game as well, I'd love to know what you all think of it in the comments down below. Leave a positive review if you enjoyed it so that people know that I'm not just making this up. But it's Sorcery. I'll have the apps right here. There's 4 different ones. I recommend starting the first one because you can carry your save data across the way. And let me know if there's any game that you've ever found like this out there. There are other games that are text-based adventures, but this map and that style of kind of dragging along really puts it together. I think on the App Store right now it still has a 5-star rating. Truly an amazing experience. I hope you all enjoy it. Let me know what you all think in the comments down below, and take care. Peace.